Hello and welcome back to InformOverload. My name is Aaron and I'll be your host for today's video. Today we're going to be covering some stories that happened over the past week, including one regarding how Spanish singer Rosalia has been dumped by her fiancé Rawu Alexander. After that, we're going to discuss the fact that Taylor Swift fans might be going a little too far, and then we'll also be covering the 1975 frontman Matty Healy's protest stunt in Malaysia that sparked anger in the LGBTQIA allies around the world. Stick around and let us know what you think about today's stories in the comments below. Let's jump right in with Rosalia and Rawu Alexander's decision to call off their wedding. 2023 is only at its halfway point and it's already home to multiple high-profile breakups, with Rawu and Rosalia's story just adding to an already long list. The Spanish singers, who've recently crossed over into the mainstream pop scene but have dominated Latin charts for years now, first met in August of 2021, going public with their relationship the following month on social media. In March of 2022, the Alejandro had asked her to marry him after only 8 months of dating, in the music video for their song Beso, which was featured in their joint EP titled RR. That March was also when Rosalia revealed that she'd gotten RR tattooed on her foot, initials that both her and Alejandro share. The next month, Alejandro revealed that he had Rosalia inked above his navel. Later that month, the couple opened up about their bond in a Billboard interview, revealing that they've learned so much from each other to apply what their relationship has taught them to their work. Alejandro saying, "Rosie has a more solid music base than I do, and in the sense that I'm more extroverted in my music, but she's far more disciplined. But she's a freak crazy workaholic. Piano lessons, dance lessons, voice lessons. What else can you learn when no one sings like you?" At the beginning I didn't really get it, but after some time I said, okay, let me try and follow her lead and see, and the difference is huge. Rosalia added that her then fiancé was apparently far more relaxed than she was, which helped her keep her balance, adding, quote, "Of course my career is super important in my life, but at the same time, in my life, Alejandro is my companion and everything else comes second." It seemed that their relationship was a stabilizing force for both of them, so it's surprising that yesterday, People magazine confirmed that the duo announced that they're going their separate ways after dating for more than 3 years. Even if they aren't sharing vows, they sure are still connected for life with those aforementioned tattoos, so it's good that sources have said that despite their agreement to end their engagement, the singers still have love and respect for one another. Although fans and publications alike have pride, there is no further elaboration or explanation as to why the Spanish singers decided to call it quits. It's especially shocking since the breakup seemingly came out of nowhere. In fact, many Twitter and TikTok users assumed the news was fake when they first heard. But while a lot of the now ex-couple supporters are certainly upset about the news, a lot of them are stoked. Since both of these singers are extremely talented and incredibly attractive, the fact that they're both newly on the market has people unsurprisingly excited. However, it's not like we'd ever have a chance. Our next story is a fan taking their admiration for their idol way too far. Earlier this week, TikTok user Nat Frantantero shared to her account a now deleted video which showed her trespassing into Taylor Swift's previous apartment, the infamous 23 Cornelia Street in Manhattan's West Village neighborhood. The video has since been reposted to Twitter, so now we can rewatch Nat give us a little tour of the pad with reckless abandon. The video begins with her showing us the brick exterior of the building, along with its notable arched wooden door, which she walked through, and recorded the entryway of the building, which featured concrete floors and white walls. The TikTok video also showed several empty white staircases winding throughout the building and one long vacant hallway. It appeared the building was under construction, as a queen-size mattress was wrapped in plastic off to the side, and workers could be heard using power tools inside the residence. Perhaps the apartment appeared vacant and under construction because it's currently on the market for nearly $18 million, may I add. Nat said in the TikTok quote, "I'm sorry Taylor, I'm not a stalker, but when I saw your old door was open, I had to take a peek in. After it was open for 2 hours, I came back and it was still open. I walked through and I was like, what am I doing? I actually can't believe it. Am I in the halls that Taylor Swift walked through? That hit me after I got back to my apartment, but I did a little snooping and that felt uncomfortable and I didn't want to get arrested, so I left." While the building may not have any inhabitants and no longer be under the ownership of Swift at all right now, the woman's video still sparked backlash from Taylor Swift fans who claimed that she was creepy and disrespectful for filming herself inside the private residence. Others claimed that Nat had done nothing wrong, seeing as how the door was open and Swift or anyone else doesn't live there anymore. Many just think it was simply idiotic for her to post a stunt online for anyone to offer judgment on. This isn't the first time that a Taylor Swift fan pushed the boundaries with the singer a bit too far. In fact, Nat seemingly got out pretty scot-free. On July 3rd, a Swift fan was arrested at the singer's home in Rhode Island. The fan, named Kimberly Meyer, was charged with trespassing and was court-ordered to stay away from Taylor's home on July 21st. It was unclear if Swift was home at the time, as she is currently in the middle of her US leg of her Eras tour. This was just one time in a long list of times that an arrest was made due to trespassing charges on Taylor's behalf, because in 2021, a man named Hank Johnson attempted to break into the singer's Tribeca loft. Johnson claimed that Swift was communicating with him on social media, as he showed the predictive text suggestions on his phone that he believed were replies from Swift. And then in 2019, a Florida man named Roger Alvarado, who was already in jail for once stalking Swift, was arrested again for allegedly breaking into the pop's star's Manhattan home. Alvarado climbed a ladder to the second-floor window of Swift's townhouse in Manhattan before using a brick to break a window around 2:30 a.m., an NYPD spokesperson said. The townhouse was being renovated and no one was inside, though an alarm was tripped, bringing officers to the scene. It's stories like these that make me glad that celebrities have security at their disposal, and also makes me wonder how they manage to not lose their minds completely. How do people get it through their heads that just because you enjoy someone's art, you can disrespect their boundaries like this is absolutely beyond me. Our last story concerns the 1975 frontman Matty Healy, who once again has decided to showcase his unsurprising lack of judgment. Last Friday, the indie pop band was headlining the Good Vibes Music Festival in Malaysia's capital city, and during the show, Healy, who has a history of making derogatory comments about women and minorities, decided that now was the time to voice his opinions against Malaysia's anti-LGBT laws, going on an aggressive tirade which ended in him kissing his bandmate in protest. Healy also went on to say that he was furious and he'd made a mistake when they were booking shows, then asking to be banned from performing in Malaysia ever again. The band's set was obviously shut down soon after. Healy's rant drew scattered cheers from the audience, but videos from the night also showed the audience's silence and fans growing unease. TikTok videos from the show depict people's faces falling and locals grimacing. Although speaking out against oppressive power systems is important, Healy did so in a self-indulgent, patronizing, performative, white savior fashion, with no forethought of what the repercussions of such an act may be. His rant wasn't the only bad choice he made during the festival, as he had also been drinking on stage, destroyed a drone belonging to concert organizers, and multiple concert goers reported him spitting on fans. Healy's little scene caused authorities to order the closure of the entire Good Vibes festival, which still had 2 days to go, and other international acts due to perform like the Kid Laroi, The Strokes, and Ty Dolla $ign. But that's only the beginning of what the backlash of his behavior may be. An artist named Jerome Coogan, who recently organized an exhibition in Malaysia that allowed for local LGBT artists to showcase their works, said that Healy had tried to do the right thing but in the wrong way, saying, quote, "I understand and commend him for wanting to express his opinions about the regressive laws against LGBTQ+ folks in Malaysia and other parts of the world, but I think he could have chosen a more conducive platform to do it." Other artists and activist groups have voiced their fears that Healy's protest may have in fact been counterintuitive, giving conservative groups more reason to pull back on LGBT freedoms, seeing as they've already described the incident as a violation of family values, could point to it as evidence that the LGBTQ+ community is taking things too far and crossing the line, especially since conservatives will use anything they can to target that community, be it holding hands, kissing, or even posting relationships online. In fact, Malaysia has seen a noticeable shift to more conservative parties advocating harsher laws most would describe as outright state hostility. Former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin was in office from 2020 to 2021 and described LGBT people as a threat to Islam backed by foreign influences. He said that they had a disorder that required counseling. And as of right now, homosexuality remains a crime in Malaysia, punishable by up to 20 years in prison, leading to the country ranking as the second worst place for transgender people to live in the world. One study by local advocates found that nearly half of those who identify as LGBT have faced harassment and threats. Advocacy groups have said, quote, "We agree that visibility is important and at some point we would like to have more public displays of our activism, but we have always planned carefully around how we intend to do it so members of our community are not jeopardized." Much of the criticism Healy is receiving is heavily fueled by his reputation, that is anything but positive. Just to name a few instances in his repertoire of deplorable behavior, the long-running internet joke that his bandmates cut him off on stage before he says something problematic, a podcast he was on earlier this year where he took the opportunity to mock American rapper Ice Spice, mimicked Asian and Hawaiian accents, and asked the show's host to do impressions of Japanese people laboring in work camps for seemingly no reason at all, which spurred British-Japanese singer Rina Sawayama to call him out at Glastonbury last month. He did apologize for some of his comments, but chalked it up to it simply being a case of people misinterpreting his sense of humor. Yeah, just tell the people it was a joke, that always goes well. After putting into context that Healy isn't known for being an advocate for minorities, it's hard to take a rant like the one he made in Malaysia seriously and nothing more than an attempt for him to get more attention. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know what you think about these stories in the comments below. Do you think Rosalia and Alejandro will get back together? Why do you think people keep trespassing on celebrities' homes? And what problematic thing do you think Matty Healy is gonna say next? Once again, I'm your host Aaron, and I hope you enjoyed this Inform Overload video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.